Welcome to Shark Week on Bloodbath & Beyond. Today we review Damn Sharks. These man-eaters really give a damn.
Directed by James and John Kondelik, Damn Sharks is about a bunch of sharks who are using human bodies to build a dam. What do we like about this movie?
The production value was far beyond what I thought it would be for a movie called Damn Sharks. It was actually pretty well put together.
If we blow up the dam, it should open a path to the ocean.
How do you know all this?
Sharknado Week.
So of course they're gonna have CG sharks, but they also had practical sharks. Just the cinematography in general looked pretty good. There's just a lot going on. And for the most part, it looks great.
Yeah, I mean, we got people beating sharks with paddles. We got bow and arrows, we got guns, propane tanks or helium tanks. All your basic shark killing equipment.
Everything that you would want for a competent crew to take down a bunch of sharks that are building a dam out of the remains of people, they're set to go. And they do a pretty good job, I think.
The mistakes that were made were in no-win situations. They knew what they needed to do. It was just a difficult task.
I don't see anything.
Again, I need to say, the quality is so good in comparison to what we've been watching.
God, it's like a bad movie.
By no means is this a Hollywood blockbuster, but even the CG sharks like gobbling random people underwater, yeah, it looks bad, but it looks so much better than a lot of stuff that we see. And you have to give them props for that.
My ass! What? Something got my ass!
I was expecting like a big dam and then sharks somehow tossed over the edge or something. But no, the sharks were building the dam. Not only that, they took a beaver dam, killed the beavers, took over their dam, and then used human body parts. We don't know why.
I'm sure they mentioned it, but at some point you start to forget what they're talking about.
You ever seen that show about the guys who fish for crabs in Alaska? I think I would be really, really good at catching crabs.
You basically have like a corporate getaway. They're gonna go play some paintball, which we find out the main guy, played by Jason London, is firing 70 people at the job.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to run your business here.
We're supposed to be having a good time here.
Well, try telling that to the 70 people that are getting pink slips today.
The people that he's brought with him are his inner circle.
You're what matters.
He just wants to stay away from the backlash as he releases his press release. Then we have Kate, who's like the game warden. She just kind of is patrolling the area. She realizes what's going on because her partner had just gotten eaten by a shark. So her and Carl, who's just a local guy, they team up to try and figure out a plan. And then eventually the two storylines converge as the corporate group decides to go rafting.
Shouldn't we have a tour guide or something?
Yeah, they'll show up right after your testicles drop.
So there's just a lot going on because you're jumping between these different storylines and different activities. So it just keeps going. And at 16 minutes, we pause it and we're like, wow,
Yeah.
so much has happened and it's just starting.
Even halfway through, we're like, this movie feels done.
Yeah, so we thought we had already seen the climax before a bunch happens after that.
Sushi, anyone?
The acting, decent, but overall, nothing too bad.
I did like the Kenny guy.
Yeah, I know.
Because he's the party guy. He's got glasses on glasses, baby. He was just like a fun time.
They got us.
And I like Stella. She was a really cool character as well because she was just a badass.
I should hire you to be my bodyguard.
That's a good idea.
Between her and Kate, they were the most dominant people in the whole movie. And I love to see it because it's like two badass chicks just killing a bunch of sharks and saving the men, which is totally cool because it's like a role reversal.
Yeah, but it's not like they played it to make it seem like that, right? Like it just was natural. So the acting, the special effects, again, decent for the film compared to what we have seen. The kills are cool. I mean, the sharks splitting them in half. The sharks were kind of fighting themselves for a bit. That was cool. An interesting take on this story of what damn sharks could be. Could have really gone south, but they made something decent.
I thought the dam was trapping the sharks in the river, but the storm drove them into the park and they discovered a smorgasbord.
What didn't we like about this movie?
So while I did like the two storylines that converged at some point, I thought their tones were so different. So we had the really serious stuff with Kate and Carl while they're trying to deal with the shark stuff. I mean, they have some fun, playful moments in themselves, but then we have the corporate meetup that is just so over the top.
There will be. Capture the flag. An archery contest. Paintball.
Like Jason London, for example, when he's getting ready to go paintballing, you've got all these swish pans going back and forth as he's putting on gloves and putting on his gear. Something that you would see in a 90s movie, which is totally fine if the whole movie had that same feel, but it doesn't.
I need to use your phone.
I ain't got a phone. I got a radio. It's a good radio.
They shoot it too serious in certain parts and too comedic in others.
I think that the Jason London character didn't even need to be a dick.
I didn't hire you for your opinions.
It just could have been like a group of people who are on a corporate retreat. The like side story of him being a dick and laying off people didn't really, I don't think, added to anything.
Give me one good reason why we shouldn't throw you overboard right now.
The checks haven't gone out yet? If you want your check, you need it signed by me. Your captain, your boss, your lord and savior.
Like he dies, but it's not like a satisfying death. You're not like, yay, good, he's dead.
The only satisfying part is the fact that Stella gets covered in blood and then she has it on her. Well, because I like it.
Don't know where to go from here.
You know what I mean.
And she ripped the tiniest piece of her shirt off that Jay really appreciated.
Well, Matt Mercer also. Not the same McCree Matt Mercer.
It's high noon.
It's not the same voice actor like we thought when we selected this film to review for Shark Week. We're like, oh my god, the guy from that role-playing series? Critical Role?
Yeah.
Not him. Different Matt. So I do feel bad for that Matt because they go to meet somebody. It's like, hey, are you Matt Mercer, the actor? Like, yes I am, but not voice actor guy. So yeah, he liked the clothing being ripped off, and I did too. I had to bring it back. So while I did appreciate the pacing towards the beginning, it did drag.
I thought you were from Toronto. Aren't you guys supposed to be nice?
We are nice. We only shoot mooses.
Penny!
Halfway through the movie, we're like, okay, everything is wrapped up on either side, basically. And then that's when they finally meet, and then we have this whole new, oh, okay, both groups are together. And it's not a long movie, it's only like an hour and a half, but it feels like it goes on for so long. Like they're just rafting, they need to kill the sharks still, because the sharks have now built another dam. And it's almost like it should have been a sequel, as opposed to being in the same movie.
I think the sharks were too strong for your run-of-the-mill sharks. They were jumping like.
They were jumping.
So high. It's time for our final thoughts and ratings. If you watch a lot of shark movies, this is not going to be near the bottom of the list. If you like seeing sharks in different environments doing different things, perhaps you like sharks in sand, suppose you like sharks in tornadoes, suppose you like sharks in different regions of the country, I think this wouldn't have a nice little spot for you, because you don't see sharks in the river building dams out. What you have here is, I think, just a perfectly enjoyable movie. Sit down, watch with your buds, be like, it's Shark Week, I gotta watch a shark movie every day. Once you get through, 5 to 6 years of Shark Week, this should definitely be on the list. Overall, again, I don't think there's anything blatantly bad about this movie. So for that reason, I'm gonna give it 3 gourmet corporate lunches out of 5.
Some high-end grub.
I enjoyed this movie, and like Trav mentioned, we've watched a lot of shark movies. So at some point, this is the kind of movie that's like, not bad. Back in the day, we would have said this was terrible, and it absolutely isn't. This is definitely on the higher budget when it comes to like the low budget, like sci-fi, asylum kind of shark movies. This is Anchor Bay. They flexed that Anchor Bay money before they went bankrupt. It had a really good pace for a lot of the movie, but at some point it does start to drag on because they did too much too fast. It's a like because I liked how fast-paced it was, but then they kind of like exhausted everything out of me. I'm like, okay, everything's good, let's wrap it up. And you still have half an hour left or 45 minutes left, and you're like, well, what could they possibly do? But again, it's a pretty solid shark movie. So I'm gonna give this 2.5 shark bonks out of 5. As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you haven't and you do want to check it out, links are in the description. And this is Shark Week, baby. We got more shark goodness for you tomorrow. So make sure you tune in and watch more shark stuff all week long.